50 years ago today, riots in New York proved to be a watershed when it came to the gay rights movement.
Gave birth to a celebration of the LGBT+ community known as Pride. Josh Parry's been looking back at how Stonewall changed attitudes.
One Friday night in 1969, at a tiny New York bar called the Stonewall Inn, the fight back begins. After one raid too many, an outlawed LGBT+ community riot. Out of the chaos, the Gay Liberation Front unites. Pride is born.
Although being gay was decriminalised in 1967, there were many laws
which meant gay people didn't have the same rights as those who were straight.
When Pride arrives in London in 1972, change begins. Maureen Colquhoun becomes the first out lesbian MP 2 years later.
I thought I'd become a member of a boys' public school.
And it's not just politics which is becoming more reflective.
10 years after the UK's first Pride, in 1980, the BBC screened a documentary, A Change of Sex, which opened the UK's eyes to trans people's experiences.
But in 1981...
So don't die of ignorance.
The inequalities faced by the LGBT+ community were highlighted in our health.
What is seen as a disease for gay men is initially ignored by the authorities, but not the community. And in 1982...
the UK's first AIDS charity was set up, the Terence Higgins Trust, named after the first person in the UK to die of an AIDS-related illness.
Slowly, public perception begins to turn.
In 1987, when I had the first gay kiss on EastEnders, the tabloids went berserk, there were questions in Parliament, and the public just got kind of interested.
One peck in EastEnders, moral panic in Westminster.
Children who need to be taught to respect traditional moral values are being taught that they have an inalienable right to be gay.
In 1988, another battle faced the community. Section 28 banned the promotion of same-sex relationships in schools across the country.
And some battles felt like they shouldn't have been battles at all.
It took until 1992 for the World Health Organization to declassify same-sex attraction from being a mental illness.
But soon, battles become victories.
I wrote the first lesbian kiss to be aired before the watershed on Channel 4's Brookside.
The Gender Recognition Act in 2004 meant that trans people were finally legally recognised as themselves by the government.
Same-sex couples were finally given the right to adopt in 2005.
14 years and 3 sons later, our family is finally complete.
Helen and I were one of the first couples to get married in Halifax at 9 a.m.
Same-sex marriage is finally allowed in 2014.
You are now legally husband.
But still not in Northern Ireland. 2019, 50 years from Stonewall, and people are still marching for one thing.
Equality!